Good afternoon. Welcome to the KGSR Music Lounge live audience. Say hello on the radio. Today's KGSR Music Lounge is presented by our friends at Odell Brewing Company. We want to thank ABC Home and Commercial Services, and via the power of the interwebs, today everything here will be presented on the web by our friends at Mainstage Films. We're here today with Jason Isbell, a sold-out show last night at ACL Live at the Moody Theater, and another one this evening. Monday night, we'll find out how he does at the Grammys, nominated for 2 awards. And despite all that, gracious enough to join us in the middle of the afternoon with 2 sold-out shows. No reason to do this except for graciousness, so we do appreciate that. And without any further ado, live on KGSR, this is Jason Isbell.
Said it's none of my business, but it breaks my heart. I dropped a dozen cheap roses in my shopping cart. Made it out to the truck without breaking down. Guess everybody knows you in a speed trap town. It's a Thursday night, but there's a high school game. I'll sneak a bottle up the bleachers and forget my name. These 5A bastards run a shallow cross. It's a boy's last dream and a man's first loss. And it never did occur to me to leave till tonight, when there's no one left to ask if I'm alright. Sleep until I'm straight enough to drive, then decide if there's anything that can't be left behind. Doctor said Daddy wouldn't make it a year. Oh, but the holidays are over and he's still here. How long can they keep you in the ICU? See the veins through the skin like a faded tattoo. Was a tough state trooper till a decade back, when that girl that wasn't mama caused his heart attack. He didn't care about us when he was walking around, just pulling women over in a speed trap town. And it never did occur to me to leave till tonight, when I realized he'd never be alright. Sign my name and say my last goodbye, then decide that there's nothing here that can't be left behind. Road got blurry when the sun came up, so I slept a couple hours in the pickup truck. Drank a cup of coffee by an Indian Thank you. Thank you very much. This fellow over here is my compatriot Sadler Vaden playing the guitar. My compatriot, my compadre. He came up with an idea on the way over here. He's going to call it Taco Texas. It's going to be everywhere except Texas.
Yeah, we'll go over better.
Yeah, because in Texas they know better. But he said the sign's going to be like the state of Texas, but instead of a star over the Capitol, it's going to be a taco. You're halfway there. All you need is the tacos. Oh, I'm sorry. We copyrighted that. We wrote it down and sent it in a letter to ourselves earlier, so don't mess with Taco Texas. When I get home from work, I'll call up all my friends and we'll go bust up something beautiful we'll have to build again. When I get home from work, I'll wrestle off my clothes and leave them right inside the front door. Nobody's home to know. You see, the hammer needs the nail and the freight train needs the rail. I guess I'm doing what I'm on this earth to do. I don't think, oh, I'm here where it hurts. I'm just lucky to have work. Sunday morning, I'm too tired to go to church, but I thank God for the world. I thank God for the world. When I get my reward, my work will all be done, and I will sit back in my chair beside the Father and the Son. With no more holes to fill, and no more rocks to break, and no more loading boxes on the truck for someone else's sake. You see, the hammer finds the nail, and the poor man's up for sale. I guess I'm doing what I'm on this earth to do. I don't think, oh, I'm here where it hurts. I'm just lucky to have work. And every night I dream I'm drowning in the dirt, but I thank God for the world. And the day will come, I'll find a reason, somebody proud to love a man like me. My back is numb, my hands are freezing. What I'm working for is something more than free. I don't think, oh, I'm here where it hurts. I'm just lucky to have work. Sunday morning, I'm too tired to go to church, but I thank God for the word. I thank God for the word. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Jason Isbell live on 93.3 KGSR. Last night, towards the end of the show, you rattled off a list of Austin venues that you've played over the years, from some really small ones to a sold-out ACL Live. This is the way it's supposed to work.
I guess so, yeah.
Doesn't always work that way.
No, it doesn't always work that way. And, you know, sometimes it's for reasons beyond your control. I mean, I know a lot of people who have great bands who just toiled in those small rooms for the entirety of their existence, and so we feel really fortunate. I mean, I know we've made good decisions, we've worked really hard, but also anything can happen. So it's really good that we've worked our way into places like this where people can see and hear the music and your feet don't stick to the floor.
Well, one of the things that was really obvious last night is, and this is also how it's supposed to work but doesn't always, is that there's this body of work, and there's 2 or 3 songs from each record that are bona fide fan favorites, if not hits. And you string those all together across a set, and you're at the point now where everybody's singing along to everything because that set is filled with songs that people recognize. And I think more than anything, that's the key to this, right, is those kind of songs.
Yeah, I mean, that feels really good. You know, it does. And I've noticed a lot that the past couple records that I've made have sort of kicked that into overdrive, because a lot of people have come in with either Southeastern or something more than free, and then they've gone back through the catalog and found other things that they like, which is, you know, I love playing the old songs, but it used to be every night people would be requesting, you know, Outfit or Decoration Day or something every time we took a breath, you know, and I always play those songs. I love those songs. I still do. But it's really nice now when somebody comes up and they go, "What's that song that you played tonight that you wrote about your dad?" It's like, I always hug those people. I'm like, thank you so much for, you know, coming in now rather than, you know, just wanting to hear stuff that I did 10 or 15 years ago, because you want to progress as a songwriter.
I mean, ultimately, you were not Grammy nominated in 2014.
No.
You may have sent one of the great tweets of all time, where your mother says Pac didn't get Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
Biggie was never
Mom
Grammy.
calls him Pac. She calls him Pac.
I love that. This time, 2 nominations. What are you thinking about Monday night? I mean, what goes through your head when you found out? And
I want to get a picture of my wife with Nicki Minaj. That's kind of the sort of the most important thing. Also, I thought, what's going to be in the gift bags? Last year there was a guitar in the gift bag, so it's going to be a pretty good gift bag. A lot of face creams, I'm imagining. Also, it's a really good excuse for my wife to buy the type of dress that she wants without having to explain it to the accountant. Yeah, you know, it's an honor. It really is, and especially in categories that are associated with roots music, because I just think that's the way that you know, we keep progressing. You know, styles of music die off when they're not connected to their roots, just like trees, just like, you know, crops. If you don't keep cycling those things through and take care of the ground, you're not going to be able to farm for very long. You know, and I'm hoping that with roots music we can keep an eye on the reasons that American people started making music in the first place. And I think if you don't lose that, then you wind up with longevity as a genre. You know, that's why rock and roll's still around. That's why hip-hop's still around, because you can hear the roots of that music. You don't hear it so much in disco. You know, you don't hear so much disco anymore.
well, in a lot of ways, this is a rejection of a lot of that stuff, because this is music made by real people holding real instruments, whether it's you or Chris Stapleton or Sturgill or Robert Ellis or whoever.
And I like that. You know, also I like robots, man. Robots. I like robots. I like Daft Punk. I like people with helmets on doing ridiculous stuff that I don't understand. That don't bother me a bit, you know. That don't bother me at all. I like to dance.
The other really noticeable thing about last night was how comfortable you are as a band leader and frontman now. You were not always that way, and how do you conquer fear on stage? I'm imagining you had a lot of fear early on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know about fear. There was anxiety, I guess, which is essentially it's fear. You know, it's sort of a secondary emotion to that. But yeah, there was a big turning point when I started going on stage sober, because that was terrifying. That was terrifying. You know, and the first few shows I played, it was solo acoustic, and I was opening for Ryan Adams, and we were in Australia, and there's like 3,000 people who talked funny, and the toilet flushed the wrong way, and I was really out of my element, you know. But after going through that period, like he gave me some really good advice. Some of that being, you know, just make the room as small as you have to. You've done your homework. The songs are there. The people are there to hear the songs. And so after I did that for a while, it got to be a lot more comfortable. And now I think the fact that I just don't think there's a lot of room for error in one of our shows at this point. Like, I can go back. You just have to look at, you know, history and think, okay, this is what's happened, so this is probably what's going to happen. And the rational way to see it is, I don't remember the last show that we screwed up. You know, somebody could be a little off, but everybody else in the band is going to be there. And that's a big deal for me. It's so easy to, you know, I mean, it's if you're driving the fastest car on the block, it's not too scary to race at the red light. You know what I mean? And like when I go out, I know that the band's going to be great every night. So it's a joy these days.
All right. Well, you'll see Jason Isbell. Hopefully, you're lucky enough to be there tonight. A sold-out ACL Live. Beg, steal, borrow, however you can get in there this evening. And in a much more intimate setting, our Music Lounge. This is Jason Isbell.
Intimate is so intimate in here, guys. It's so intimate. I'm feeling the intimacy. Staring at the pictures of the runaways on the wall. It seems like these days you couldn't run away at all. And even if you did, what you got to run away to? Just another drunk daddy with a white man's point of view. I can see you in my mind's eye, catching light. We'll sleep beside the river if we make it out of town tonight. You can strip in Portland on the day you turn 16. You got one thing to sell and Ben's old diazepine. 10 years ago I might have seen you dancing in a different light, and offered up my help in a different way. But those were different days. Those were different days. Had a girl back home and we shared a single bed. When I whispered in her ear, she believed every word I said. And if she didn't believe, she didn't dare give me slack. Or it was, baby, I love you, get off of my back. Then time went by and I left again. Guess Jesus loves a sinner, but the highway loves the sin. My daddy told me, I believe he told me true, that the right thing's always the hardest thing to do. 10 years ago I might have stuck around for another night and used her in 1,000 different ways. But those were different days. Those were different days. And the story's only mine to live and die with. and the answer's only mine to come across. But the ghost that I got scared and I got high with looked a little lost. 10 years ago I might have thought I didn't have the right to say the things an outlaw wouldn't say, but those were different days. Those were different days. Those were different. Thank you. Thank you very much. That song there was off of Southeastern, and the rest of the ones we're doing here, including this next one, are on Something More Than Free, which is the most recent record that we have released. That's hard to say. The most recent released record. Recent released record. This is how you make yourself vanish into nothing. This is how you make yourself worthy of the love that she gave to you back when you didn't own a beautiful thing. And this is how you make yourself call your mother. This is how you make yourself closer to your brother. Remember him back when he was small enough to help you sing. You thought God was an architect, now you know he's something like a pipe bomb ready to blow. And everything you build that's all for show goes up in flame in 24 frames. Floating on the ceiling. This is how you help her when her heart stops beating. What happened to the part of you that noticed every change and win? And this is how you talk to her when no one else is listening. This is how you help her when the muse goes missing. You vanish so she can go drowning in a dream again. You thought God was an architect, now you know he's something like a pipe bomb ready to blow. And everything you build that's all for show goes up in flame in 24 frames. Sitting in a black car ready to go. You made some new friends after the show, but you'll forget their name in 24 frames. In 24 frames. Thank you very much. That's Sadler Vaden joining me there. Thank you.
Jason Isbell live on 933 KGSR. Thanks again for being here, and you'll find Jason Isbell this evening at ACL Live at the Moody Theater. The most recently released album, there,
Yes.
I think I just did it,
You did it.
is somewhere, now I'm blanking on the album title, somewhere.
Something more than free.
Something More Than Free. There it is.
Yes.
Well,
And
each-
it's Isbell, like nipple. Not
But it-
Isbell, like nipple.
But is that just your southern...
That is just my last name.
Okay. There it is. That sounded definitive, did it not?
I have, though. I have. In Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee, we say Isbell. But I have been corrected by some Isbells in Texas who say you are not saying our name correctly. So either way.
Those are
you
the
know.
folks I'm accustomed to
But
being
I'm
around.
sure. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So either way, it works.
All right. Well, Jason Isbell, there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Tonight at ACL Live at the
Nailed
Moody
it.
Theater. And again, we want to thank our friends at Odell Brewing Company, ABC Home and Commercial Services, and Mainstage Films for putting this out over the internet. All right, that's it from the KGSR Music Lounge. Thanks again to our live audience.
Thank
And
you, guys.
I am going to throw it back down by this point to myself. All right, thanks, folks.
Thank you.